Thank God I did not jinx this film. At least for myself, I really enjoyed it. I was worried at the start with some of the discourse I had going into it, but from my perspective, I did not really see anything that was majorly the problem with this movie. And more to my surprise, when I'm seeing the mixed reviews right now, yes, it's still like a week early to like its like large, wide scale release, but as of right now on Letterboxd, this movie is rated lower than its predecessor. And this movie, for me at least, was just a way better film than that. And I'm going to start with the story as a whole because this movie had its plan at the start and really just stuck with it. Whereas all the other films, they had like their twist and turn, and this doesn't do that as much. Which personally, also not a really bad thing for me. Like this film was moving at a million miles per hour. It was adrenaline pumping from start to finish. So I hear this critique that if you unmask this film, like remove that aspect of this movie, this film has like the least amount of story development. But straight from the theater reaction, I don't really care. I feel like what this movie set out to be, it did it well, and I enjoyed it for that. I feel like if I was to critique this movie storytelling, if I was to be that guy, it had a lot of moments that it will drop exposition of their plan and what they're going to do. And I'll be honest, I understood like maybe 60% of what the hell they were talking about. But I feel like also you just go with it and you understand as the movie goes. I also hear like, oh, this movie's tapping into nostalgia like other franchises and stuff. Bruh, is it nostalgic to bring back a guy from the original first film that was just had like 2 minutes of screen on time? Let's be honest here. I don't think anybody's like crying their eyes out and being like, oh my god, blah blah blah, this is happening. Yes, I can't lie, there was this one other scene with a certain character being related to an original character, but still, like, yes, it's useless, it shouldn't be in the movie, I won't lie, it adds absolutely nothing. I understand what they're trying to go for with the storytelling there, but yeah, it doesn't make or break this movie. I did like to see the film attempt to tie in with the original trilogy. Well, part one and part three. Think everyone wants to forget that part two existed, but it was nice to see, especially with the original film. There are parts in the third one that I did enjoy to see resurface, but the rabbit's foot inclusion in this was not one of them. And I will also put my hands up and say that this movie did start a bit awkwardly at the beginning. It was not the best introduction. It's a direct sequel to its predecessor, but there's also this time jump. Everything just feels a bit disconnected. It feels like you're being reintroduced to these characters. I understand technically that's what will happen if you haven't seen like this person for like a particular amount of time. It just feels weird. I don't know how to explain it. It feels like, because it happens when Ethan Hunt meets Haley Atwell's character. I feel like Dead Reckoning did a better job at that, when I think every other movie does a better job at that, which is why it's weird, because this is a direct sequel. So why is it being weird with reintroducing its characters and seeing us link up? It's not like it's even weird for every character. It's mainly for when Ethan meets Haley Atwell's character. It just feels like they've met each other for the first time or something. I don't know. It just felt a bit weird. But anyhow, the characters in this I still enjoyed. The team was really good. I was worried that Luther might not reprise his role here, and I was great to see that he still made an appearance, as well as Benji and new members such as Haley Atwell, as I said, which she did have a little to do in the movie, as well as the other half of the IMF team. But like, that was everybody, to be honest. I feel like, in fairness, Ethan was split from their main team for a good portion of this movie, but I still enjoyed the moments we had with that other team and the new addition like Pom Clementine and David Gregg's characters. And I'm open to the idea of seeing more films with these new IMF members in there. And can we please get Jeremy Renner back? But as I'm talking about the characters right now, one that does still hold this movie back is its antagonist. I feel like this film and the predecessor both, they just don't know what they wanted to do with him. I swear he isn't in this movie for like a huge chunk of it. And I will call this movie like the No Time to Die of the Mission Impossible films, and they both share that one problem with they both have trash antagonists. But you get to this point in the movie, and as ridiculous as these films have been to this point, they all still hold this sense of like realism. So I understand like the point of actually needing like a human puppet that this rogue AI has like trying to control, but the little we got of the antagonist, I liked the slight change with the character there. I mean, there were a couple of those instances in Dead Reckoning, but on here more, I feel they made him a bit more of like a goofball in the film. For someone that's supposed to have like this past with Ethan, which I wish they like actually explored that and everything. It's a shame. They had 2 movies to do that, but they didn't. I hold my hands up there and I'd be like, yeah, that criticism is valid. But like, I feel they didn't do enough for that guy, and they just made him a goofball in this film. He's just I don't know, I just feel like he's a punching bag in this movie. Like, he barely escapes, and I don't know, man, just screw him. And this won't be the Mission Impossible film without Tom Cruise trying to kill himself, and we definitely get that on here. As I said, this is an action film from start to finish. Like, 3 hours of pure adrenaline. The pacing and structure, even at times when the film does slow down, it still gives you that edge of the seat entertainment. Like, I personally was never bored. I also see that people are saying that this film is like really, really long. Yes, 3 hours is that absurdly long amount of time, but I absolutely did not feel it. Like, the film just took me away. Like, the final hour, I was completely locked in. Might be a bit of recency bias and just getting out of the theater watching a good movie, but I always described for Mission Impossible 4 as the most fun Mission Impossible film. But in terms of pure entertainment with action, stunts, and just like everything as a whole, this movie might take it from me. And honestly, with the little negatives I talked about here and there, and with the stuff I liked, if I was to really nitpick about other things that I didn't really like about the movie, I don't even say it's things I didn't like, but I just think it's stuff that was pretty dumb and like underbaked. Like, there was a plot point about people the entity has influenced through like the internet. Just cut out of that part of the movie. It wasn't really necessary. It didn't really add up to anything at the end. And also, Ethan, come on. The last thing you do in this movie, stop being dramatic with it. You could have put the switch on earlier. That's all I have to say. Okay. But overall, yes, I love the film. Yes, I think it's better than Dead Reckoning Part 1. Is it the best in the series? No. But I would say it's really up there for me. And as I mentioned earlier, this film reminds me a lot of James Bond's No Time to Die. And I remember, like, initially when I just watched that movie, I was saying that's the best James Bond film. Yeah, it's not the best James Bond film. But time will tell for Mission Impossible: The Final Reckoning for me. And I will absolutely say it's worth the cinema watch for the 3 hours of fun. And for me at the moment, it's my movie of the year. Thanks for watching this video, and I hope I'll see you in the next one. Bye.